Well, hello everyone, and welcome to my Premier League predictions for the 24-25 season. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you do like what you see in this channel, please do give it a like, share, and subscribe. So, without further ado, let's go on and talk about my Premier League prediction table for the 24-25 season. From 20th to 1st. In 20th place, I have Nottingham Forest. Why do I have Nottingham Forest 20th? Because they have been lurking around the relegation. So the last two seasons, ever since they got promoted back 2 to 3 years ago. But I don't think their squad's good enough at the Premier League. Plus, they had teams last season that got points reduction like Everton, not like all the other teams. They were Luton. There were far worse teams than Forest. That's why they didn't go down this year. But I just think this season, this is the season they go down. I don't think their squad's good enough. Plus, I do think Nuno will be one of the first managers to go. I just don't think he'll do well this season. So I'm predicting that Forest will finish 20 plus that and straight back down to the Championship. 19, I'm going for one of the newly promoted teams, that is Southampton. Southampton, same as Forest, I don't think their squad is currently good enough for the Premier League. I just think their style of football might not suit the Premier League. Like you might, yes, you get away in the Championship, but when you're playing in the Premier League with the big dogs, you do not get chances. Under Russell Martin, I don't think he will get sacked. I think they'll keep him throughout the whole season. But I just don't think the squad good enough. Plus, I don't think they have a lack of goals. I think they have a lack of goals in the team. Plus, and the lack of Premier League quality in the team as well. So I just think it's just going to be a long seasons for Southampton. So that's why I'm finishing. I think they will finish 19 for Southampton. 18. They've been in the Premier League for a couple of seasons now, but I just think if they lose a certain player, I think they will lose it at some point during the window. I think this team's going down. Brentford. Yes, I do think that Brentford will go down. They struggled last season. Like Tony, like their main player Tony was banned for majority of the season last season because you know what, because he likes to place a bet. I just think that it might be a season too many for Brentford. I just think they'll give it a good goal to survive in the Premier League, but I just think if they lose Tony between now and the end of the window, which when time recording it, there's only around 3 weeks left, I think they're going down. If they somehow keep Tony, maybe they have a chance to survive, but I just think this is the season I think Brentford will go down. So Brentford will go down this year. My 17th place and just surviving is Leicester City. Leicester City. Okay, I know they're going up. I know they will have I think they're having a point reduction on the way they were fined last year. It's good to see them back in the Premier League, I have to say. It's nice. I just think it's going to be one hell of a ride for them this year. I think they've got a decent enough manager at the squad. Like Steve Cooper, who was at the league before he managed Forest, but they'll have their ups and downs, but I just think they'll survive, and I'll say they'll survive in the last game of this. They'll get a late goal, and I just think they'll live in moments this season, and I think it will be the moments that'll keep them up in the league just by the skin of their teeth. That's why I think Leicester City will survive to the skin of their teeth. Okay. 16th place. I've actually predicted one of the newest teams, Ipswich Town. I think most people probably would predict Ipswich to go down this season, but I actually think Ipswich might do well and it's a punch above their weight a wee bit. I think Ipswich will be a breath of fresh air for the Premier League. Their aim this season is to finish high as possible and survive. And I do like their manager, McKenna. I think he's probably most best upcoming young managers out there. And maybe it's good to see how you get on in the Premier League. They have made a couple of good signings. The only worry I have about Ipswich Town in the Premier League is, do they have enough Premier League quality? Like, they have signed players, but I don't think they signed much Premier League. But I do think they'll survive. That a bit of pride and passion will get them over the line, and I think they'll survive by skin of their teeth. In 15th place, I have Wolverhampton Wanderers. Well, Wolverhampton Wanderers, what can we say about Wolverhampton Wanderers? Well, as I record this, they've just lost their best asset at the club, Pedro Neto, and also they also lost that Mac Kilman from West Ham, but they did get at least over 100 million between the two, which is probably good for Wolves, because I think a couple of seasons ago they were struggling with financially. This will help them in the long term. I do think they're good. I still think they still have a good enough squad to survive the Premier League. It might be a season of struggle for them, but I do think that it will benefit them in the future. They have a decent manager, Gary O'Neill. He knows the league well. I think he'll just survive and get the best out of them. And I just think, just be grateful I'm predicting you stay in the league. Okay, in 14th place, I have Bournemouth. Well, just as a couple of days ago, they've also lost their prime asset at the club, Dominic Solanke. So a big chunk of their goals have gone. Dominic Solanke probably scored about 60% of Bournemouth goals last season, which is very dependable. They have now a couple of weeks now to find a suitable replacement to make sure that they can stay in the Premier League. I still think they'll stay in the Premier League. They'll struggle this season. They'll have their moments and they'll have the struggle to have everything. But I do think Iraola is a good manager, and I just think there's enough quality in that squad to keep them up at least for another season. So that's why I'm predicting Bournemouth to finish 14th. In 13th place, I have Fulham. What do we say about Fulham? Well, they've also lost another prime asset of João Palhinha, which would be huge loss in their midfield. But they have signed well. They've signed that Emile Smith-Rowe from Arsenal, which I think is a great signing. It will add a lot more attacking threat to the squad. They've also signed some defender from Villarreal, I think. And they're also trying to sign that Anderson from Crystal Palace, which we have at the club before, and are trying to re-sign again. And Marco Silva, he's a decent manager. He'll keep them up in the league. They'll have their moments, but I do think this overall their squad is good enough to survive in the Premier League. In 12th place now, I have is Everton. Yes, people might be surprised about how high I put up Everton this year, but I actually think they're going to have I think they're going to have one of their best seasons for a long time, and that's coming from a red side of the debate. They've got a decent manager, Sean Dyche. He knows the league well, and he will play the most boring, stupidest football you've ever seen in your life. You'll hardly stay awake for it, but it's effective. It'll keep them up in the Premier League, and they're going to, I like someone saying to me, they've got your man from Napoli, they've got that Irish guy, Jake O'Brien, and they've also made a couple cool signings as well. Anyways, I just think Everton will just survive, and they'll just have their moments and just survive. That's what I'm predicting them survive comfortably this year. In 11th place, I have Brighton and O'Hare. To be honest about Brighton and O'Hare, out of all the teams about Brighton, I just think Brighton are a bit unknown this year. I'm not fully. It's the one team that I'm unsure about. I don't know the manager quite well. I know he was in the second tier of German football. He got his team promoted, but he won't be able to see him because he's in that manager of Brighton. There's still got a couple of decent players: João Pedro, Matoma, Gilmore, which I heard he could be going to Napoli. Lewis Dunk, their captain. Jamie Milner, always rely on them. Bag of experience. And they've got a couple of also decent players as well. But it's the team I'm unsure about. But I do think there's enough quality in the squad to keep them up at least. So that's why I'm predicting them to finish 11th. 10th place, and an absolute disgrace to the Premier League. I'm predicting this team is Chelsea. What could we say about Chelsea Football Club? An absolute disgrace to the Premier League. I think their owner is an absolute shambolic of a person. Todd Boehly hasn't a clue what he's doing. They're signing players left, right, and centre, and they're getting away with it. They should be selling their players rather than buying their players. And they should have stuck with Pochettino. I think it was a stupid decision to get rid of him. Absolute stupid decision to do. And now they got this Maresca guy. This guy ain't lasting the season. I'd be amazed if he survives to Christmas. If he survives to Christmas, count your fucking lucky stars because it ain't fucking happening. I just think Chelsea, from top to bottom, are an absolute disgrace, and they're not even going to get European football. They're not even going to win the Conference League. I'm sorry, they're not winning the Conference League. They're that boring of a team, and I just think they are just an awful from top to bottom. But they'll survive because they're Chelsea and they're plus top bullies. Just oh my god, that's what he is. That's why I'm predicting. That's why I'm predicting Chelsea to finish 10th in the league. In 9th place, I have could be one of my surprise teams of the season is Crystal Palace. I think Crystal Palace are going to have one of their best seasons for a long time. I think they're going to have the best season since they went into Premier League all those years ago. They've got a wonderful manager. They've lost Elise, fair enough, but I do think Palace I could easily predict Palace to finish higher because I just think they've got a very good manager, Glasson. He obviously won Frankfurt, the Europa League. This Frankfurt team he had at Frankfurt is basically this Crystal Palace team in disguise. He could do wonders with the squad. I'm rating. I think Palace are going to have one of the best seasons in the Premier League. They've never got past 50 points before. They're breaking that, no problem. Not confident in it. I reckon they could be one of the. I reckon they could go on a wee cup run as well in one of the FA Cup or the League Cup this year. I really do. I just rate this team. Well, I predicted the first set. They're not going to get you, but prove me wrong, pals, because I think you have an outside chance of getting Europe this year. That's why I'm predicting Palace to finish ninth. I'm not predicting to get Europe, but I do believe they could prove me wrong. In 8th place, I have another team I do not like, Manchester United. This is a big season for Man United. No question about it. Last season in the league, they were an absolute fucking disgrace. Oh my God. They were just awful last season in the Premier League. Do you know why Ten Hag is still a manager? Because he won the fucking FA Cup. That was his fucking get out of jail card. No more of them anymore. He will not last the season at Man United. I guarantee you that now. There's too many deadwood players in that squad. Like McTominay. I don't know how McTominay is still at Man United. Yes, he's great for Scotland, but for Man United, don't want to say it, but he's not great. There's Casemiro. I don't know how Casemiro is still at Man United. The man should just go to Saudi Arabia and call it a day because he's not good enough for the Premier League anymore. And they've made a couple of all right signs, but they're still not. They're never going to get back to the days of the Fergie. Oh, they can forget about that. They're not getting back to those days. They might win a few trophies, but they're not going to get back to that level. But anyway, I just think Ten Hag will not last the season. And I could see the assistant, Mr. Roy, taking charge as interim basis during some point of the season. If they don't start well, they're finito. They're finished. And they've got to step up this season. If they don't, it's curtains for Ten Hag. But I don't think they'll get European football. I think they're going to finish 8th this season. I just think they're going to have the even worse season or the same season they had last year. Improvements are needed at United, and it ain't happening at the moment. In 7th place, I am predicting that Tottenham, good old Tottenham Hotspur, will they finally replace Harry Kane and Dominic Solanke, which is an good sign for them. He'll get them 15, 20 goals this season in the Premier League. I think their man's getting up past cover whatever you say. He's a decent manager. They still got Song. They still got other players. They've got. I think they'll definitely get tossed. But how would it go last season? I think they had a good enough season last year. Okay, there was a couple of bad defeats during it, especially that one against Newcastle, where they got went to Newcastle and they got absolutely destroyed. But this is a season to prove. It's hard to say at Tottenham, but I do think they're going to have a better season in United. That's all I'm going to say. They're having a better season in United and Chelsea combined. I think they'll get Conference League football minimum this season, so that's why I'm predicting to finish 7th. In 6th place, I'm predicting good old tune. It's Newcastle United. It's a big season for Newcastle as well. Okay, they haven't made much sense because we're dealing with FFP. What other club ain't dealing with FFP? What other club ain't dealing with FFP? What other club? Anyhow, they may lose him because he is one of the targets for the England new manager job. But do I see it happening? Maybe, maybe not. But he will be a manager at the start of the season, and I do think. But they do have a crazy couple. Anthony Gordon, he could be leaving. You never know. Isaac, he's a great striker. I love him. Big fan of him. He'll be sticking around. Bruno Guimaraes, all these players that have made 1 or 2 sides despite their financial problems. But I do think they'll get top 6 this season. They'll get Europa League football, and I think Newcastle will be back on track to have. They have an aim probably to win the league one day. I don't think it'll be this season, but they should work on it. Eddie Howe is probably not the manager to take them to where they want to be. I actually don't think it's hard to know if he'll last the season at Newcastle because of the rumours to England, or it might go pear-shaped for Newcastle. But I'm not predicting them to go pear-shaped. I think they'll finish 6th place in Newcastle. If Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle, he won't get sacked because he go for the England job. That's why he'll leave. He'll walk. In 5th place, and just missing out, Champions League football, and this club is having the window of a lifetime. I said, how the hell are they getting the money for it? It's this team here, West Ham United. Oh my God, they are having some window. Some of the signings they've made: Füllkrug, Somerville, your man from Real Betis. They're about to get Wan-Bissaka. They got your man from Nice. They've got. This could be West Ham's attack for next front 5. They could have Bowen, Füllkrug, Somerville, Paqueta, and Kudus as their front 5. That is some attack. It's ridiculous. I nearly predicted to get 4, but I'm trying to be a wee bit realistic. I think West Ham are going to be one of the surprise teams. I think they're going to get 5th. And it's about time a West Ham manager got back the way that, especially the new manager, Lopetegui, which is quite. Will it work at West Ham? We'll soon find out. Yes, it looks great on paper, but they have to perform on the pitch. We've seen so many teams in the past that look great on paper, but they don't deliver on the stage. But I think I'm predicting this team will look good on paper and they will perform, because if they don't, the manager will be getting the chop at some point this season. But I'm predicting the finish 5th. It's a bold prediction, but you've got to have a bold prediction at some point in the studio. In 4th place, I'm predicting where they finished. Predicted last season, it is Aston Villa. Well, what could we say about Aston Villa? Well, Aston Villa had a season to remember last season. Oh my, they got Champions League football. Just imagine, some points there's going to be Champions League music playing at the Villa Park. You said that to a Villa fan 5 years ago, they would have fucking called you mad. They would have called you, they would have called you loopy. But do you know why they're in Villa? Do you know why they got Champions League football? Unai Emery. That's the reason why they got Champions League football. Probably the top 5 best managers in the world. He's transformed that club from top to bottom. And I do, yes, I worry about they have to play Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday football. Their squad will be tested next season with the rotation. Oh my God. But I do think they'll rise to the challenge and they'll get at least fourth place. I do think they'll retain fourth place in the league this year. I could be wrong. Like some predictions will be wrong, some will be right. But I'm predicting Villa to finish fourth. And I just think I think Villa are going to be in for the ride of their lives this season. Just enjoy it. If you finish below fourth, as long as you don't have a dramatic drop off, I think you're in for a good season this year. That's what I predict to finish for. In third place, I am predicting my team to finish third this year, which is Liverpool. Liverpool. What could we say about Liverpool? A new era has begun at Liverpool. No such thing as Jurgen Klopp anymore. He's gone. He's finito. He's finished. He's not at the club anymore. It's slot ball this time. And so far, so good. Pre-season looks good so far. I'm optimistic about the season. But we're the only club in the Premier League not to sign a single player. We haven't signed a sausage. No, we will sign players in the next 3 weeks. I am confident of that. But the signs are good. It's good. I don't think we'll, this season. But top four, if we get top four this season, I'll be happy with that. Just improvement, and hopefully we get a couple more signings, with especially a number 6 and a Salah. Well, ready to go replacement, I say. And a couple more players as well. And look, it's going to be a fascinating season to be Liverpool, but I'm excited about Liverpool this season. I think it's a bit of the unknown, but it's good at the same time. I think Liverpool are going to have some season. That's why I predicted Liverpool to finish third this season. In second place, I'm just missing out the Premier League again for the third season in a row. You guessed it. You know the team I'm about to say next. If I could just get the colour for it. It is Arsenal. This is a big season for Arsenal, especially for Mikel Arteta. He has to win a major trophy this season. If he does not win a major trophy this season, he is finished at Arsenal. They've backed him too much. It's now time to deliver. They've had a good season last season, but what trophies do they have to show for it? Nothing. And all these Arsenal fans go about, oh, we had an amazing season last season. We done this, we done that. You don't. Yes, you had an amazing season, but you've got to back it up with trophies. If you don't, you'll be forgotten. This is the time to win the league for Arsenal, because if they don't do it now, they'll never do it. And I'm not predicting them to do it, because there's one team that are just scum on the earth to say. Scum on the earth. If they don't win the Premier League this season, they've got to win the Champions League. Yeah. They've got to win at least a trophy this season. An FA Cup, a League Cup, any sort of trophy at all. Because if they don't win a trophy, Arteta, serious conversation needs to have with him. He will be gone. It's do or die for Arteta this season. It's do. They backed him too much. It's not time to deliver. And I just think they're going to miss out in the game. Arsenal are probably a number 9 away from the league. They've got everything in place to win the league. The one thing that's missing from that particular puzzle is a proper number 9. If they can get a number 9 in the next 3 weeks, I think they could do it. But at the moment, I'm predicting them, no, they're not going to do it. And it's time to do for Arsenal, because if you don't, that's what happens. That's going to happen to you. So I'm predicting Arsenal to miss the league for the 3rd season in a row. And the winners of the Premier League, no surprise at all, they are just the scum of the earth. So predictable, so boring, so cheaters. They're just a pain in the ass to be around with. Man fucking City. No one in the team apart from City. We can't stand them. They've got 100. They've got the squad. They've got the manager. They've got everything going for them. They've got the best striker in the league. They've got the best creator in the league. They've got the best. Oh, they've just got the best squad depth in the league. They've just got everything in their way. But they have a cloud hanging over their head. 115. You know that number, what that associates with that number with Man City. FFP charges. We will find out some point during the season if they get away with it. Will they get away with it? Will they not? If they're found guilty, no, they'll probably get every single title stripped off them since these accusations begin. Every player that leave Man City, all the trophies, everything they've worked hard for, cheated. Yes, they've cheated their way to success. We all know they're guilty, but you know they'll get their lawyers, they'll get everything, they'll get away scot-free, and they'll pretend like nothing happened. Nothing happened. But I really hope they get what they deserve, because they are the scum of the earth. Scum of the. But look, and I do think this is Pep Guardiola's last season at Man City. I said to myself, once 1 o'clock or Pep goes, the one will follow afterwards. Klopp is gone. I think Pep Guardiola cannot survive in the league without Klopp. Those two are just inseparable. He's probably the greatest. He's probably the. That's why Pep is the manager today, because Klopp tested them. He made them better. He made him a better manager. He's just. So, but it will be. I do think it'll be the last season. And once he leaves Man City, the downfall will begin. The downfall will be. But they'll probably win the league and Champions League and every other trophy. This is boring, predictable. No one likes them. Nobody respects them as well. Do you know why they don't respect? Nobody respects Man City? Because they're cheaters. That's what they are. Cheaters. They know they are. They know they're guilty. But they just pretend nothing happened. Anyway, they're going to win the league. It's going to be so boring. They'll probably win the league with. Let's be fair. Arsenal did take them to last season. The league will not be decided in the last season. I reckon the league will be decided with 3 or 4 game weeks to spare this season. There'll be no just fancy finale this year. I'm predicting to finish first. Boring. We'll move on, and then the downfall will get. They'll go 5, but they won't go 6. That's all I'm saying. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my Premier League video / Premier League prediction video / rant. If you do like what you see in this video, please do give it a like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and hope to see you for another video very soon. I may do a game week prediction video during the week if I feel like it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.